Into November we go as teams are working toward being bowl eligible. One of the best quarterbacks in the ACC, Eric Dungey, leads Syracuse into Tallahassee to take on Derwin James and the Seminoles. It's the ACC Network Game of the Week presented by Mellow Mushroom. Syracuse and Florida State with the Noles working on a 9-game winning streak in this series. So great to have you with us this afternoon for our football game. Tom Wormy along with Dave Archer. DJ Shockney will join us from the sidelines in just a moment. Well, Dave, this Syracuse team has never won in Tallahassee. They do have the signature win this year, though, against the Clemson Tigers, and they come into this game with one of the best quarterbacks in all the ACC. It is the junior Eric Dungey.
Tom, I love this kid. The first thing that jumps off at the tape about this guy is how tough he is. Tough as nails. 7th in the country in total offense. He can throw it all over the yard. 9 300-yard games. He's coming off a 100-yard rushing performance 2 weeks ago against Miami. He's got some guys to sling it to. They're 2 of the best in the country. Steve Ishmael will play on the outside. He leads the team in receptions. Big-time player vertically down the field, and his running mate will play in the slot. That's Irvin Phillips. Phillips catches the ball all over the field. This is a kid that caught 17 balls last time we saw him against NC State.
A couple of record-breaking receivers for the Syracuse Orange. For Florida State, Dave, they are not used to this. In fact, they have not won a home game this season, and they're coming off a tough road loss at Boston College last week.
Tom, athletes all over the field still for Florida State, and they're led by one of the best in the country at the safety position, Derwin James. You call him a safety, he plays everywhere. He's the thumper. He'll hit you big in the box. He also has the ability to run you down in space, and oh, by the way, he can play the football. He's an outstanding cover guy, as seen right here, and he makes the interception. He also has a ton of talent around him. When you talk about Josh Sweat, one of the great edge players in college football, and Tavares McFadden, who had 8 interceptions a year ago, an All-American in 2016. They need this Florida State team to step back up to the level they had before. DJ, Syracuse is excited about their defense. How about the 2 seniors at linebacker?
Yeah, those 2 seniors are big players for them. They're going to be sideline to sideline. Arguably the best 2 linebackers in the country in Paris Bennett and Zaire Franklin. Paris Bennett, last 4 out of 5 games, he's had 10-plus tackles. Zaire Franklin, for a career, 200-plus tackles, and he's the first 3-time captain in Syracuse history. That tells you about the leadership he brings to this defense. Expect both of these guys to have a huge impact against this Florida State offense today.
Yeah, they are really excited about the way they're playing defense. It's dramatically better than it was a year ago, Tom.
Doak Campbell Stadium ready to go for Florida State and Syracuse. It is the 11th all-time meeting. Florida State leads the series 9-1. That lone Syracuse win came back in 1966 in Central New York. Now one of the great traditions in college football, Osceola and Renegade ready to plant the spear and get us rolling on the ACC Network Game of the Week, presented by Mellow Mushroom. Florida State looking for its first home win of the year with a 2-5 record, 2-4 in conference play. And they've lost 2 in a row to Louisville and Boston College in succession, but they welcome in the Orange this afternoon.
Yeah, Tom, this is going to be a tough test for Florida State defensively. This is an offense for Dino Babers that's operating on all cylinders. When they don't throw the ball, they fed 4 interceptions against Miami 2 weeks ago, but still rushed for over 260 yards. So it's a 2-way go in this offense. So looking forward to watching that offense for Syracuse operate.
Second year for Dino Babers on that Syracuse sideline. 6th overall as a head coach. Now time for our Carolina Ford keys to the game with Dave Archer.
Yeah, we talked to Dino Babers and talked about what do you need to do. He says we need to start fast. We're playing great in the second half and really playing well there. We're getting off to slow starts and digging ourselves a hole. Look for Syracuse to get off to a better start. And for Florida State, when you talk to the coaches, they got a mistake here, a little mistake there, something bugging them there. Take care of the little things. You're too talented to be where you are record-wise. Come out and play to your capabilities, and Florida State will be fine.
Florida State, Dave, won the toss, elected to defer. Jimbo Fisher, who's won a national championship here at Florida State back in 2013, his 8th year on the sideline. He is 4-0 against the Orange. The ball's in the air, and we're rolling on the ACC Network. Sean Riley watches it sail over his head and through the end zone. So we'll see the Orange on offense To start our football game this afternoon, time for the Food Line Impact Players. Syracuse on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, we talked about the quarterback leading rusher. Dante Strickland will get a tribute on that running game as well. You see, he had over 100 yards against Miami as well 2 weeks ago. And Service, the center, a freshman, has done an excellent job. He's got a freshman to his left as well. They've done a nice job protecting Dungey. We talk about Dungey, 7th in the country in total offense. Outstanding player, and boy, is he tough.
78 degrees as we get started in Tallahassee. It's Phillips trying to string it out, and he gets stopped by Florida State. Loss of 1.
Yeah, this is where Syracuse wants to speed things up. They've been averaging the snap at right around 21 seconds. They'd like to go a little bit faster than that. This is a team that likes to throw a lot of plays. They're averaging about 86 plays, 87 plays a game.
That number of plays, 4th most in the Football Bowl subdivision for the Orange. 2nd down for Dungey. Lets it go quickly over the middle. It is caught. Irvin Phillips makes the grab, and he got 6 yards.
Yeah, and important to tackle in space. Excellent job by Kyle Myers to make the tackle in the slot. That's something you have to do against Syracuse, though. A lot of short passes. You must tackle in space if you're Florida State.
15 straight games with a reception for Phillips. 3rd down for the Orange. Another quick release from Dungey, and it's enough for a 1st down near the 40. Phillips again is the target, and they got 9.
Yeah, Phillips is saying, fill me up, man. They can't cover me. He's in that slot area we talked about. Phillips, outstanding, understands coverage, does a nice job of slipping inside Myers there.
From its own 39 for the Orange, this is Dungey trying to go up the middle. Got 2 Food Line Impact Players for the Noles.
Matt Thomas will be one of those guys that will shadow Dungey when he runs the football. And, of course, Brian Burns, outstanding edge player. Can they hold up against the run? Had a tough time against the BC run a week ago. Let's see if they can hold up against Syracuse trying to run the ball right at him.
Dave Burns also big on special teams. 3 career block punts for Burns, including one last year in the victory against Syracuse at the Carrier Dome. 2nd and 9. Strickland. Road block at the 40. There is no gain.
I think it's the defense that took offense to what happened to him a week ago. Didn't play with a ton of energy defensively, and really BC got after him, physically ran the ball on him. You can see there was a resolve, and talking to the coaches this week, Charles Kelly in particular, resolve on this defensive side to get back to playing Florida State football defensively.
Another 3rd down for the Orange. They converted their first one on this drive from the 41. 3rd and 9 for Dungey in Syracuse.
This is where Florida State can mix things up. You see a lot of players standing up, a lot of different changes, looks.
Dungey has the time, a little touch on it. Derwin James went up to get it, and he's picked it off.
Well, Tommy fools him. Derwin James is one of those guys that was standing up in the line of scrimmage before the snap, and this is what he does. He's got such great speed. He disguises the play. Now he's going to bail out and take the wheel route. He just jumps the route of the back. Strickland, and there he is. The All-American makes a huge play. Missed all of last year with an injury. Had a tremendous freshman season and a big play here early. And this is something Florida State has not been able to do, is turn the other team over. Came in with only 5 turnovers on the year.
First interception of the year for Derwin James, the sophomore from Haines City, Florida. Noles on offense with excellent field position after the interception. It's Blackman.
Blackman on the keeper.
When you look at James Blackman, obviously forced into service because of the injury to DeAndre Francois in the opening game against Alabama. And the young kid's played good. I mean, you're talking about this kid playing high school football last year. He's done a nice job of trying to absorb what Jimbo wants him to do. They've pared the playbook down a little bit for him to match what he can do. Not a great runner, so interesting they'd run the football right there. That's not something they've done with him very much.
Out of Glades Central School. Bell Glade, Florida. 2nd down after he got 7 on that rush for James Blackman, the freshman. Akers should have 1st down yardage near the 42 of Syracuse. The Food Line Impact Players for the Noles on offense.
You just saw in Cam Akers, he was the #1 running back in the country last year, coming out of high school, now playing here, trying to replace Dalvin Cook and Patrick with the injury. And Auden Tate, huge receiver on the outside, 6'5", 225. He is playing a little bit banged up, so have to continue to watch what he can do. This is a wide receiver corps, Tom, that's been banged up all year long.
This Florida State offense struggled just over a week ago on the road at Boston College. just 213 total yards for Florida State. 1st and 10. They swing it out into the flat. Akers makes a cut near the 42, but dragged down. Zaire Franklin had a piece of him. There is a penalty marker on the field, thrown at the 40. Gary Patterson, our referee this afternoon.
Now we take a look at the food line impact players for Syracuse defensively. Chris Slayton is one of those guys up front. Does a good job of creating some pressure. See 21.5 career tackles for loss. And Rodney Williams, he'll play a big role in this game. Roam in the middle back there, trying to seek out some of these outstanding Florida State wide receivers. Last year had a big day. Had 8 tackles and a sack in a loss to Florida State up in the Carrier Dome.
45-14, the win for Florida State on the road last year. That was the Dalvin Cook show, Dave. 4 rushing touchdowns for Cook.
This is something that Florida State's had a tough time with, is overcoming some of their mistakes. Major penalty here. Let's see if Florida State can overcome that on the offensive side of the ball.
They gave it to Rasul for 2 yards up the middle. Austin Valdez getting in the way for the Orange.
Talking to Jimbo Fisher about his young quarterback and what do you do? He said the first thing that you know about him is he's really tough. And I said, why do you have tough guys at quarterback? You Jameis Winston, and you got DeAndre Francois, you got this kid. He goes, we coach him. That's something we coach. We want tough guys playing quarterback for him. That's what we look for when we're looking for that quarterback. What is it in his DNA? That's what we're looking for. And they have a tough guy at quarterback, seems like, all the time. This guy's slightly built, Tom, but he's still tough as nails.
6'5" and 169 pounds. For the freshman, wants to uncork it down the center of the field. He's got a receiver. It's a touchdown. Florida State. Naquan Murray gets behind that Orange secondary.
Well, exactly what the doctor ordered for an offense. It's averaging just under 18 points a game. Big time throw under pressure by Blackman right down the pipe to his speed guy, Murray. Murray running the deep post right. You see how excited the true freshman at quarterback is. Boy, it's been hard coming, tough sledding for him to try to make big plays down the field. He got one right there.
Ricky Aguayo has the extra point. Dave, 51 yards on the connection for the TD.
Florida State gets a turnover to start the game. Derwin James makes a play. And how about Naquan Murray from Blackman? The Noles early.
Jimbo Fisher's team getting on the scoreboard first as they come in to Bobby Bowden Field at Doak Campbell Stadium. They strike for 51 yards and a touchdown pass.
Now, a couple things here. Tampa, too. Is he getting enough depth, or is this safety supposed to get back? Because Murray is going to split the middle of the field on the post route from the slot. You see Bennett trying to get some depth, but he never gets there. It's an easy throw and catch to Murray right down the pipe. So a blown coverage right there by Syracuse.
Once again, that kickoff through the end zone. Logan Tyler, and there is no return. Zach Mahoney has come into the game for the Orange.
Well, Tom, things changed dramatically for Syracuse with Mahoney in the game. He is not a run threat like Dungey is, and we're still trying to kind of figure out what's going on. We got DJ on that, DJ Shockley, trying to figure out what's going on with Eric Dungey. But Mahoney, not the runner that Dungey is.
Dungey did not play in this game last year. Mahoney's in there. That pass is on the money at the 35. Zach Mahoney slinging it, and he hits Ishmael. First down, Orange.
Well, this is the matchup you're looking for. McFadden against Ishmael on the outside. Good job, good timing by Mahoney to get it out as soon as Ishmael came out of his break. Excellent throw and catch and a first down.
Yeah, Dungey was dealing with injury last year and did not participate in the game at the Dome between the Noles and Orange. They'll take Strickland into the line. Second effort. Just past the 40 for Strickland. He got one.
So far, Florida State's been extremely stout against the run, which you would expect. They embarrassed in the performance a week ago. Obviously, outstanding job by Steve Adazio's team to run the football right at them. So Florida State trying to swell up against the run here early. And when you do that, now you force Syracuse into some uncomfortable third down situations.
Fifth game in which Mahoney has seen action. He keeps it just beyond the 40. He stopped for maybe a yard. Josh Sweat on the tackle. So Dungey went into the locker room. Now he's back out.
Well, he took a shot. He ran the ball on that design quarterback draw. Took a shot. There he is on the sideline. Had his shoe off. They evidently went in and took a look at his ankle. Now going to kind of gear back up. But it's Mahoney's job right now.
Dave hits his man near the 50 to Urban Phillips. 9 yards.
Excellent throw. Mahoney is last year, Tom, you mentioned he played in about 10 games a year ago. The game we saw played extremely well against Pitt. Completed 60% of his passes a year ago. Excellent run there.
Handing off to Mo Neal for 8 yards as we check in with DJ.
Talk about Dungey being on the sideline. We just got a report from the staff that he's looking at his foot, and he's questionable right now. Not much, but if I get more, I'll let you guys know.
DJ, thank you. That one knocked down by Sweat, who deflected that pass attempt from Zach Mahoney.
They got kind of rolled up right there, Tom. Kind of a strange angle. His foot goes down. Took him out of the game, went in and took a look at it, and now he's over on the side. They're trying to tape it and kind of give him some relief from whatever pain he was feeling on the foot. They take the foot up first, and now they're spatting the shoe to try to give him a little bit of support.
3 for 5 on 3rd down for the Orange. 5th in the conference in 3rd down conversions. They won't get this one. Mo Neal swallowed by the Knoll defense.
Well, they've got some stout guys in the middle, and it's led by Derek Noddy. Noddy, number 91, is the guy that's really going to swell up in the middle and kind of make the play bounce to the left for Strickland, but no place to go because Burns is waiting on him as well on the edge. This has been a much different Florida State defense against the run here early in the game.
It's going to be a 48-yard field goal attempt by Cole Murphy. 55 career field goals for Murphy. It's a low liner. No good. Cole Murphy.
And that's an excellent stop by Florida State's defense. Short field situation with the punt return by Riley. Florida State's defense comes out and shuts the door.
Wolfpack trying to snap a 5-game losing streak in that series. Blackman, improvisation, and tackle by Zaire Franklin. 3 yards for Blackman.
Yeah, good pressure by Syracuse to force Blackman off his spot. Take a look at the pressure. See the linebackers flowing. Take a look down here. There's probably his best shot right there on the in route. Might be disguised by the linebacker standing in the way. Blackman does the next best thing. Takes care of the ball. Did not put it into coverage you couldn't see. Pulls it down and picks up a nice gain on 1st down.
2nd and 7 for Florida State.
Minimize the damage as a young quarterback. Nice job by Blackman right there.
Flips it out. Akers. Akers past the 45. Dragged down shy of midfield. But it's Cam Akers on the run. Williams and Bennett had to combine on the stop. 15 yards.
Yeah, a little freeze option pitch to the outside. And look at the 2 guys on the outside blocking the receivers. That's what it takes to run the ball in the 2nd and 3rd level as receivers blocking down the field. Cam Akers, the benefactor there, came in averaging just under 5 yards a carry for the freshman.
Led the team in rushing just over a week ago at Boston College with 42 yards on 18 carries. And Blackman taken down. Alton Robinson, number 94 for the Orange. A loss of 7 for Florida State.
Going to bootleg off of the play fake to Akers. And right now, Robinson right in the backfield. Avoids the block there and puts the quarterback on the ground. Shock, nice play by the Syracuse defense.
Nice play by the defense, but one thing as a young guy, when you come off that bootleg, the first thing you must do is get your head around right now. He never got his head around to see that defender. If he sees him, maybe he can kind of fall away from the throw and get rid of him, but because he wasn't able to get his head around, lost yardage play.
Blackman's pass complete to Murray. He spins at the moment of impact. Only one after all that work, Dave.
Yeah, it's a tunnel screen. They're trying to set up Murray, who's got great speed, come to the inside. Take a look at Zaire Franklin. The great linebackers on this team does a nice job of tracking the football. Really good job by the defense in a whole. They strung the play out, allowed Franklin to get back in on the play, but that was a key defense
total defensive stop to string Murray out.
Only 15 seconds on the clock. Could be the final play of the quarter. 3rd and long for Florida State. Blackman. Akers taken down at the 42. Open field stop for the Orange. Scoop Bradshaw and a loss of 1, and that's the last play of the first quarter, Dave Archer.
An excellent job on the perimeter.
So Florida State had the big touchdown pass of 51 yards. It's our only scoring in the first quarter. Second quarter straight ahead on the ACC Network. Our first quarter stats are brought to you by the North Carolina Education Lottery, celebrating 11 years and over $5 billion raised for education. To learn more, visit nclottery.com.
Now, the Derwin James interception for Florida State ended up in the short field opportunity and the long touchdown by Murray. Remember, Florida State overcame a 10-yard holding penalty in that to get that touchdown. Syracuse had one short field, Tom, on the punt return by Riley. Were not able to cash it in, missed the field goal.
Second receiving touchdown of the season for Nyquan Murray. Tyler the punt for Florida State. Riley ranging to his right. We'll watch it bounce and roll for Florida State. And inside the 5. Down at the 4. 55-yard punt. Logan Tyler.
Now, Dungey still remains on the sideline, a big-timer quarterback for Syracuse, and it's Zach Mahoney's team right now. I think he's played well. He's thrown the ball very accurately. The thing that he doesn't have that Dungey brings to the table is the impromptu run. Remember, you just taken your #1 rusher off the field if you're Syracuse with Dungey on the sideline.
Dungey left after the first offensive series for the Orange. They were taping up his right ankle. Mahoney's pass completed to 10. That's Steve Ishmael. Best in the conference, Dave, over 8 catches per game for Ishmael.
And Tom, Ishmael playing in the slot. We've seen predominantly him outside. He's playing some slot now and is doing a nice job of getting inside the defender.
On 3rd down, through the fingertips of the intended receiver, O'Neal.
Man, just a poor throw by Mahoney. He's got Neal in the zone. The running back finds the hole in between the defenders. Watch him hook it up right now. Ball's got to be on him. And boy, very fortunate that that tip ball didn't end up in the hands of a defender. Taylor, the closest defender for Florida State.
Mahoney 4 of 8 through the air, 29 yards. And now Matthews is back for this punt from Sterling Hoffrichter. Sophomore punter for the Orange, but he's 3 yards deep in his own end zone.
Well, you see different phases of the game service. You get the great punt. Now Florida State's defense gets a stop. Opportunity for a short field here for Florida State's offense.
DJ Matthews wants a fair catch. And right near the 45, he'll make it successfully. 4.6 seconds on the hang time. 44 yards on the Orange punt. The state capitol here in Tallahassee. And we're coming right back to Doak Campbell Stadium. So many monuments around campus and around the stadium. That's the Unconquered statue. 19 feet tall bronze statue depicting Osceola and Renegade. We saw that prior to the game. It's the 6th different Appaloosa horse. A great tradition. Planning to spear. Akers made a move. Akers down the sideline. Trying to accelerate away from the Orange. Touchdown, Cam Akers.
And we talked about shoes to fill, and we know Dalvin Cook's moved on. Did that not look like Dalvin Cook right there? Made Paris Bennett one of the best tacklers in the conference miss, and then the speed down the sideline by the freshman as he shoves it in the end zone. Only his 2nd rushing touchdown of the year, but what a big one that was. Taking a look, see if he stayed in bounds. He did. Nice job by Cam Akers.
13-0 extra point pending for the Noles.
Florida State has struck twice from deep. This time it's their top running back and the freshman, Cam Akers, shoves it in the end zone.
Akers. Touchdown run to go along with a long touchdown strike. Eric Dungey back into the game. Wants to unload it. Into double coverage. Deflected. And incomplete. Both teams had a chance at that one. Ishmael running with Taylor and James.
Boy, he tried to tip it to himself, Tom. This is a ball that Florida State plays extremely well. They just don't bat it down or come up with the interception. See, he leads in with the left hand and tip it to himself, and he almost came up with it again. But pretty good coverage out there. Florida State making sure they've got a couple players around Ishmael. Big timer for Syracuse.
So Eric Dungey's come back into the game. His first action since the first series for the Orange in the first quarter. Derwin James already has an interception. That in the first quarter, his first of the year. Second down for Dungey. Wants to pass again. Scrambles out of that pocket and gets rid of it.
That's certainly not what they wanted to have happen. They'd like to have had a rhythm throw right there where Dungey didn't have to test that foot that's been taped 2 or 3 times. But here, good coverage down the field by the Seminoles. They force him off the spot, and just for good measure, going to dive at that foot. If you're a Florida State defender, make sure he's dancing out of bounds. So 3rd and long again for Syracuse.
3 of 8 for the Orange on 3rd down.
Hey, you're looking at Phillips right here and Ishmael right there. Those are the 2 big timers.
5 receivers to choose from for Dungey. Goes over the middle. Ishmael, very capable hands. The pass on schedule. McFadden made the tackle, but they got 21 on the play.
Again, this is the matchup you're looking for. It's McFadden and Ishmael. McFadden, the All-American from a year ago, 8 interceptions. Ishmael wins to the inside. Excellent throw.
Dungey, all kinds of time. Has to break away and rolls up near the 50.
We talked about in the beginning about Dungey, and what is it that kind of sticks out? Yeah, he's got all the measurables, the skills. Like the guy's tough. A tough guy. This guy's fought through a lot of injuries at Syracuse. Had some concussion issues. He's added 15 pounds of muscle to the body. Jimbo Fisher, big fan of this guy. He says this guy is as tough as they come.
Second in the conference in total offense. 338 yards per game for Dungey. This pass stops at midfield to Pierce. Only 1 there.
Now shovel to the inside, and Marshall does an excellent job of shadowing. This is kind of a shovel pass back to the inside, but Florida State just stays at home. They're right where they're supposed to be. Excellent job by Florida State to take care of their business, read their keys, be where they're supposed to be. That's some of the things that Charles Kelly talked about. Is this Florida State defense been close, but they just haven't been doing the little things like taking care of their own job. Here where you're supposed to be, they did it there.
Dungey found Ishmael to convert the last 3rd down. This 3rd and 6. Moneal comes up about 3 yards short. Needed to get to the 45 of Florida State for Moneal, the sophomore from Gastonia, North Carolina.
Now you run the ball there if you're considering going for it on 4th down. That's certainly what Syracuse is looking to do here.
Have gone for it on 4th down, but decided a little pooch punt from Mahoney. This time should be a legitimate attempt on 4th down for the Orange.
Florida State showing zone coverage.
They make it 64% of the time. Dungey, wide open man, complete. Jamal Custis was wide open, and he just rolls into the end zone for an Orange touchdown.
Boy, a blown coverage by Florida State. The motion by the back out of the backfield causes some indecision in the secondary. Custis comes clean. Back motioned out to the right. Uncovered Custis. Custis was more in the slot. Nobody accounted for him vertically right up the field shot. Custis, big play, blown opportunity, and a nice job by Dungey to find it.
And you talk about the blown coverage there. As the motion came out, you saw it. It was zone coverage, but Derwin was yelling towards the backer to get out. And once he got out there, he caught his eyes in the backfield. By that time, the receiver was running full speed and it's a touchdown.
Dave Archer, 47 yards on the pass play. Dungey to Custis.
4th down for Syracuse. They got their big-time quarterback in the game. He reads coverage, and Custis pulls it within a score.
47-yard touchdown pass. Eric Dungey to Jamal Custis. First of the year for Custis, 2nd of his career. 2:27 the time for the drive, but they did it on 4th down. That drive summary brought to you by Lending Tree. When banks compete, you win. 13th TD pass of the season for Eric Dungey. Rasul.
Tom, let's take a look at this play now. Florida State's going to screw up. The back is going to go in motion, so the corner is going to widen. They're playing quarters coverage. That means he takes the slot. You see the backers get screwed up to the inside. They're not sure somebody's supposed to widen. You see a corner lose ground, but the safety comes up, and there's nobody in the middle of the field. When you go quarters, you divide the field in quarters, and that safety didn't account for 2 receivers on that side of the field, and Custis has the big play.
First and 10 from the 37 for Florida State. Akers breaking through. Akers cutting back to his right. Racing to the pylon. Akers with a stiff arm. Akers into the end zone. Cam Akers fought off Scoop Bradshaw. Touchdown. Florida State, 63 yards.
Well, you can officially move on to the next great back here at Florida State. It's Cam Akers. He had a big run earlier in the game, and how about this one? And watch him finish it. 5'11", 215, runs right through the tackle at the back end to push it in the end zone. Wow.
Touchdown runs.
Strength, all of it, Tom. Package deal right there.
Dave, 54 yards on his first TD run of this quarter. 63 on this one, the longest of the freshman's first season here at Florida State. 21-7. We'll be back after these messages from Syracuse and Florida State. What a performance in the first half for Cam Akers. 7 carries, 149 yards, 2 touchdown runs, one of 54 yards, and just moments ago, fighting off orange defenders on his way to the end zone, Dave, for 63 yards.
His speed, it was something that I don't think we've gotten to see enough of. And obviously in the last 2 runs that he's had for touchdowns, you see the perimeter speed. I think the power has been evident. At 5'11", 215, he runs with power between the tackles. I think this Florida State crowd was excited to see the speed burst on the scene here today.
The 149 yards rushing for Akers, a season high in his freshman year at Florida State. There goes Dungey on the run, testing that ankle up beyond the 35, and he took the hit. 8 yards for Dungey. Trey Marshall made the tackle. Dungey, sideline, too far. Sean Riley was the receiver Dungey was looking for down that sideline. Orange looking for their first road win of the season. Coach Baber's team 0-3 and 0-2 in conference away from the Carrier Dome.
Florida State showing a 3-man rush potentially here, dropping 8 into coverage. See if they stay with that number of players standing around.
Dungey has the first down and more, cuts toward midfield. Dungey to the 40 of Florida State. Eric Dungey on the design quarterback run, and he rips it off for 30.
Yeah, really took advantage of Florida State here to not stay in their rush lanes. Dungey much quicker than you give him credit for. Good run. Strickland
takes it to the 35 so fast that the chains were not even set yet before Syracuse snapped that football. They got 5 yards on the play. So 1st and 5 after the penalty. Dungey looking right. Ishmael creates separation. The catch. Steve Ishmael. Touchdown, Syracuse. "34 yards, Eric Dungey to Steve Ishmael. Second TD pass of the game for Eric Dungey.
Yeah, going to take advantage of the one-on-one opportunity. Again, this is Tavares McFadden, one of the top corners in the country. And Ishmael, the big receiver, creates some separation with a little bit of a push-off at the back end. But it's an excellent throw from Dungey to put up a big receiver up the back. He high points it, puts it in the end zone.
34 yards to Ishmael. Dungey now with 14 touchdown tosses on the season. Cole Murphy has the extra point. So Ishmael, 5th TD receiving on the season. Jimbo still talking to his players. They do have the halftime lead, 21-14. Big plays for Florida State. That was the answer. And for Syracuse, for that matter, too. A couple of TD passes from Dungey. And how about those TD runs from Cam Akers of 54 yards and 63 yards in the first half. James Blackman also threw a 51-yard TD pass to Naquan Murray. Jimbo Fisher's never lost to Syracuse. He's 4-0. ACC football, a Saturday in Tallahassee. The Orange and the Noles putting on a great show in the first half. A 7-point difference, and Florida State has the lead at halftime. Tom and Dave with you. And Dave, that first half was all about big plays, none shorter than 34 yards for touchdowns between these teams.
Yeah, explosive plays, kind of what we thought. These are two teams that have guys that can make explosive plays. The quarterbacks have played well. It's been a fun first half.
All right, Dave, time for our halftime stats, and they're brought to you by Dish.
Well, we talked about Syracuse, how they're good they are defensively on third down. Nats held suit. They really a tough job by Florida State to kind of move the football. The turnovers kind of evened out. Florida State having a tough time taking care of the football. Let's go down to DJ, caught up with Dino Babers.
All right, Coach, you had some missed opportunities there in the first half. Obviously, I know those are ones coming back, but how's the health of Dungey and how you overcome those in the second half?
Dungey's fine. You know, we had a situation. We could have kicked for a field goal down there. It was a tough angle, but you're not going to beat these guys kicking field goals. And if we're going to try to win in a place like this, you're going to have to go for touchdowns. It's a long second half. We played one entire quarter without our starting quarterback. Let's see what we can do with 2 quarters with our starting quarterback.
Defensively, though, they hit some big plays. Obviously, what were the issue there on those big plays they hit for the long runs?
One was a missed tackle. I think they're 0 for 5 on third down, but they've got so many explosive plays. They're in the game. Explosive plays count. We got to eliminate the explosive plays, keep playing the way we're playing, see if we can keep it close in the fourth quarter.
All right, Coach, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, big second half coming up. Syracuse getting the ball, fellas. Get a chance for them to tie this ball game up 21-all.
I love how calm Dino is. He's seen his team struggle in the first half. I think he's probably, Tom, excited about the fact that they're only 1 score down. I mean, how many times have they come out of the locker room down 21 points and had to storm back against LSU, against NC State? He's done a good job of keeping his team in the game this half, and really, this is the half Syracuse's own.
How about what he said about playing Florida State, Dave? Regardless of their record, you're not going to come to Tallahassee and win games by kicking field goals.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think that there's, to a certain extent, you got to make sure you take points when you've got it. But I think if you're around midfield, stay aggressive. That's the mindset of his football team.
Ready to crank up the second half of the ACC Network. Our game of the week presented by Mellow Mushroom. Into the end zone, no return. Above the head of Rasul.
159 yards, 210 total for Florida State, 159 on the legs of that young man right there.
Best performance so far of his freshman season. And Akers right side and near the 30. McKinley Williams on the tackle, 5 yards on the play for Akers.
You know, when you look at the young quarterback, James Blackman, I think he's afforded himself pretty well. I think that he's done a nice job of taking care of the football. He's been under pressure the better part of the last quarter. I think he's done a good job of not putting the ball in harm's way. He has the one big touchdown to Murray that happened early in the game after a major penalty. I thought he was able to overcome that and make the big throw. But they've got to give this kid more time. He has the ability to hurt you.
Tough young man, 5 of 7 through the air, 57 yards, and that one touchdown that Dave spoke of to Naquan Murray. Akers again on the carry for short yardage. Paris Bennett the tackle for the Orange, the senior from Detroit, Michigan.
Tom, this is where Florida State needs somebody along the wide receiver core to step up. Needs someone to make a play here to convert on third down. Over 5 on third down. No touchdowns in the third quarter. That's unheard of for a Jimbo Fisher team, but he needs one of his receivers to make a play here to extend this drive.
3rd and 3 from the Florida State 32-yard line for Blackman. Wants a receiver to make a play. Incomplete pass.
Yeah, just kind of an indecisive. You got a retrace route to the inside. Murray coming on the slant. I'm not sure it was a very clean. You see, and there's Jimbo talking to Matthews. He had a route where he came inside and came back out. I think it was a cloudy look for Blackman to know where to throw the football.
Fourth time of the game, 3 and out for the Seminoles. Riley, the deep man for Syracuse, stands at his own 25-yard line. Tyler to punt. Riley, fair catch.
Better job, Tom, of moving up. Riley was, remember, really deep in the first half, slid up and caught that ball, didn't allow it to hit the ground.
Dungey collapses at the 30-yard line after a yard.
Started out with a fake jet sweep, try to get Dungey going in the run game. Had a big run there right at the end of the first half. It kind of bottled up, had the injury, hadn't run much. Got a 49-yard run there right before the half.
Dungey threw for 125 yards and 2 TDs in the first half. Dances out of the pocket. Dungey looking down the field. Incomplete beyond the 40 as Strickland was trying to make the grab going out of bounds at the 42.
Yeah, Strickland does everything right, but he doesn't catch the ball. Good job by Dungey to scramble out. Strickland works back to his quarterback. Does a good job. Boy, just drops the football. Well-thrown ball right along the line. Instead squeezing it. And here you are now, 3rd and long, and this is where Florida State feeds on you defensively, because they can give you kind of the exotic look. Now, the last time Florida State went to this 3-down look, so you got 3 linemen that are going to go into down stance. These 3 guys right here, they were able to hurt him in the run. They hurt him in the run game.
Dungey, Dave, again, near the 40, breaks the tackle across midfield, and Dungey out of bounds inside the 40 for the Orange.
Same thing happens again. They go run game against this soft look defensively. This three-man rush. Get 1 block on the outside, and then Dungey, outstanding runner, pierced the tight end, got the block that sprung him around the edge. But that 3-down look, what Syracuse has decided to do on 3rd down is to run the ball with the quarterback. Successful back-to-back plays.
Clock's rolling in the 3rd quarter. Syracuse just got a 1st down. Dungey drops it off. Devin C. Butler on the catch. 6 yards.
Zone coverage. You see McFadden turn him loose. Butler going to come underneath, and this is a nice tackle by Myers in open field to get him on the ground, or he was going to run for a 1st down. Much more deliberate here from Syracuse, Tom, with the play calling, making sure they get the right look based on what Florida State's showing them.
Dungey, Strickland. They got him around the ankles and stopped him at the 25. Trey Marshall, tackle for Florida State.
And sometimes you think you've got the right play called, and you know what? The other side's just a little bit better than you are on an athletic standpoint. Certainly on that play. Marshall, nice play to play the option play out of the shotgun. And forced 3rd down now. Now Dungey, they got to be aware of Dungey pulling the ball down.
There he goes into the pile. Stopped just inside the 25. No gain.
Yeah, this is a stalemate at the line of scrimmage. Give Florida State a ton of credit in the middle there. Nowhere to run. It's just kind of a power play. And a good job of forcing Dungey to try to redirect. And his foot bothering him. Tough guy, though. Back in the game. Comes their field goal unit.
Well, it looks like Coach Babers will need at least 1 field goal.
And don't forget now, the guy that's a holder is Mahoney, the quarterback.
Cole Murphy's attempt from 48 yards in the 1st quarter was blocked by Matthew Thomas. So this is 2nd attempt. He's 0 for 1. From 42 yards away. And it's good from Cole Murphy. 56th career field goal from Murphy. Makes it 21-17. Murphy connects. Syracuse points in the 3rd. Back to Tallahassee in a moment. Orange just made a field goal to close the gap to 21-17. Rasul on the return past the 15-yard line. Akers got it. 2nd level. He's bouncing off his own men now. Nothing's getting in his way, except maybe Paris Bennett.
Yeah, went quick here. This is the first third down conversion of the game for Florida State, and they took advantage of Syracuse lining up a little bit late, got the ball to their best player, certainly today, Cam Akers, and he picks up the first down.
15 yards on the run by Akers. He's got TD runs of 54 yards and 63 yards, and they both represent a one-play drive scoring for Florida State. 181 yards rushing for Akers. Blackman wants to throw. In a congested pocket, he's got a receiver. Gavin makes the catch.
And this is such a good decision by the young quarterback. They wanted to take a shot. It's play action. He's got max protection. He's going to take a shot, but Akers doesn't take care of his guy on the blitz, so the young quarterback realizes where his outlet is. He gets the ball to Gavin quickly. Boy, what a nice decision by the youngster.
Second down 5.
Brings up 2nd and 6 for Florida State. 7:40 and rolling in the third quarter, leading 21-17. Blackman on the money. Gavin again for a successive reception down to the 41-yard line. They'll mark him right at the 40. 14 yards and a first down.
Yeah, nice rhythm here. Corner's going to bail out. Hitch route, 6-yard route. Ball's got to be coming out as soon as he turns around. It is. It's right on target. That's precision operation right there with quarterback and receiver. Timing perfect.
This Florida State team went 10-3 last year. Played in the Orange Bowl and defeated Michigan. From the 28 of the Orange. Akers submarine. And he'll lose a few. Paris Bennett, number 30. Loss of 3. Blackman, numbers today, making his 7th start of the season. That's the most by a freshman quarterback in the history of Florida State. Second and 13 after the loss on first down. Akers trying to get around the corner, lost the handle, went out of bounds.
Kelly.
Zaire Franklin in pursuit. All over Akers.
Now Syracuse has swelled up a little bit against the run here in the last couple plays, Tom. And here's Zaire Franklin, one of the best linebackers in the country. Rips the ball out.
Back to the action, 21-17, inside of 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. Gavin.
Pass complete to Gavin.
Yeah, he got introduced to Zaire Franklin right there, one of the best backers in the country. Franklin, the deep zone coverage that time, just a 3-man pass rush by Syracuse, and Gavin just going to come underneath and say hello to Mr. Franklin.
4th catch of the game for Keith Gavin, the sophomore from Crawfordville, Florida.
Gavin Jackson and Aguayo on.
So a field goal attempt now, Ricky Aguayo. This is going to be from 49 yards away. Aguayo from 49, hugging that post. He's got it.
It's up, it's good. Florida State 24, Syracuse 17.
Florida State goes up 24-17. The Westcott Building on the beautiful FSU campus. And we'll be back after a word from your local ACC station. Great look at Bobby Bowden Field, Doak Campbell Stadium. Opened back in 1950. 7 catches in the game. That's a new Syracuse record with those 7 catches, and he's not stopping. There's number 8. Got 7 yards on that one. Yeah, 8 catches for Phillips in this game. So he's got 203, and that is a new Syracuse record.
Those last 2 catches, he's broken a record.
All right, 4th quarter straight ahead. What a game it has been between the Orange and the Noles. 24-17. The 4th is next. Back in Tallahassee to start the 4th quarter. Irvin Phillips, a new Syracuse record, breaking that of Alec Lemon.
Oh, nice run.
That's Mo Neal, Dave. So these are the last 2 catches. So there's the record setter. And then, Dave, as you said, his next catch, he breaks his own record, right?
Another record. By the way, Irvin, don't fall asleep on your record, because Steve Ishmael is right behind you. He's got 187 catches. He's coming as well.
Those guys have combined, Dave, for 390 career catches, the most of any duo in the Football Bowl subdivision. Dungey on the run, and he falls down short of midfield.
Yeah, nice job by Eric not to throw. That was going to be a contested throw down the field. Decided to pull it down and get what he could get on first down. Good decision. Got a short field situation right here for Syracuse. Got to take advantage for Dino Babers in this offense.
12 rushes for 88 yards for Eric Dungey.
Phillips right here.
That's a low snap. He fields it. Phillips had a defender all over him.
Yeah, Tom, the low snap means the throw's late, because he had to reach down for the low snap.
Our third quarter stats brought to you by Tums. Who needs some Tums today, Dave?
Well, right now, Eric Dungey needs Tums if you're going to snap the ball on the ground to him. But when you look at the numbers, look at this number right here. These 2 numbers for Florida State. Yards on third down and 1 for 10 on third down. Boy, Syracuse done a nice job.
7 of 18 on third down for the Orange. Trying to get to midfield, just a little bit short of it by a yard.
I think that they're going to go for this time.
Oh, yeah. By the way, Florida State has gone another third quarter without scoring a touchdown. Have not scored one in the third all season.
Now, Florida State's been pretty strong if you try to run the ball through the middle. You see a lot of defenders crowded in the middle for Florida State.
4th and 1 for the Orange. Quickly diving for midfield.
Boy, he just barely got there if he did. I think he thought he had Florida State offside.
Brian Burns was there to meet Dungey.
Yeah, I think they snapped the ball quick here. Florida State jumps in. Now watch the ball pop up. I think they thought they had Florida State offside, and I don't think Dungey got there. I don't think he got there, Tom.
Take a close look at the right knee. Down. Where's the football?
Yeah.
That line, unofficial, Dave, but it appears he might be a little bit short.
Yeah, based on where they've got it spotted, he's short of the 50. He had to reach the 50 for the first down.
It was 4th and 1 for the Orange. First down, Florida State. Syracuse turns it over on downs.
I think Dungey got surprised a little bit on that play, Tom, because I think the center snapped the ball thinking he had a defender in the neutral zone and didn't get the call. And I think you obviously can't review a penalty, but it certainly looked like, to me, potentially looked like maybe Noddy over the center was in the neutral zone on the play.
Close play all around for both Florida State and Dino Babers and the Orange.
A lot of times when you turn over on downs, offensive coordinators like to take a shot, Tom. Let's see if there's a play-action shot play here. Murray, the speedster's right up here. He caught the big touchdown in the first quarter.
He'll run it again, turn the corner, run over a defender, and up near midfield. 12 bruising yards from Cam Akers.
Well, good decision by Akers. Stretch play, looking for a crease, found it, now put the foot in the ground. There you see it drive straight through the hole, now finish with power. Runs right through the safety, Rodney Williams. Good hard running.
Dave, 19 carries, 197 yards. Cam Akers. And that is a season high for the freshman from Clinton, Mississippi. Blackman, complete on the seam. Going through the Syracuse D. Erman Lane.
Tom, this is an excellent play by Erman Lane. He's going to uncover for his quarterback. He slides inside Zaire Franklin. He was initially covered. He slid inside. Blackman was on the same page with him. He put it on him, and then Erman Lane run after the catch. Outstanding. Talked about this kid played defensive on the defensive side early in the year, made the switch to safety a year ago, or defensive back a year ago. They had to move him back to wide receiver, which is where he was his first couple of seasons here at Florida State.
Just his second catch of the season for 28 yards for Lane. And now Akers down the sideline. Not afraid of contact at all. 5 yards, Cam Akers.
Akers on the perimeter. He's made had a lot of running room on that outside. Done a good job of getting to the perimeter as Cam Akers.
Dave, with that rush, he's gone to 201 yards rushing today. Amazing.
Yeah, he stepped up when they really needed him. Tom, this was an offense kind of searching for its identity. Made a lot of mistakes and not been able to run the ball consistently. Came into the game averaging just 134 yards a game on the ground. But they've upped that big time with the freshman.
He gets it again, but he's stopped. He is stopped by McKinley Williams.
McKinley Williams came in with 4 tackles for loss. Excellent penetration. And is able to track Akers down before he can really get the motor running. And a big play on first down.
First trip to the red zone today for Florida State, but after the loss, it moves the football back to the 24-yard line. And it's third down where the Noles have struggled today.
Erman Lane was the guy that made the play for him earlier. Who's going to step up from the receiver corps and make a play?
1 of 11 on third down. It's going to be a rush with Akers. Has to find an alternate route. Gets close to the 20, but he needed to get down close to the 13-yard line, so well short, only 2 yards.
And I like the call by Jimbo Fisher. He realizes a field goal puts him up 2 scores right here. He's got one of the better kickers in the country. So he's going to settle in and take the 3. Didn't put his quarterback in a 3rd and long situation, a chance to take a sack, to move him back, or throw an interception there. So good play calling, trying to protect his young quarterback with the play call.
So Aguayo comes in for the field goal attempt. He's made 13 of his last 14, including the 49-yarder in the 3rd quarter. This from 38 for Aguayo, and he just made it. 38-yard connection, Ricky Aguayo.
Well, the schedule is cut. He knows exactly what he needs to do. He's got to go score. Eric Dungey next.
Ricky Aguayo just connected on his 2nd field goal to make it 27-17. As these teams are going toe-to-toe.
Yeah, it's been an entertaining game. Both teams have had their moments. Both defenses have made some plays from time to time. Both quarterbacks have shown how tough they are.
Just the 2nd time this season that Florida State has led going into the 4th quarter. In fact, they have not trailed this afternoon to the Orange in the 11th all-time meeting between these two programs. 3rd and 9. 7 of 20 on 3rd down. Dungey's pass. First down, Orange to Phillips.
Man, that time they took Derwin James off of Phillips. Excellent job of getting inside. Once he won over the top of the defender, he knew he needed to create a throwing lane, so he bends it back to the inside, and Dungey on the same page.
18 yards on the 10th catch of the game for Irvin Phillips. We'll go to Strickland. Spinning moves. He may have back-to-back first downs for the Orange inside the 45. James and Thomas have to bring him down.
Well, that's a nice catch by Strickland, too, because Dungey takes him back to the outside with the throw and does a really good job extending his hands and squeezing the ball.
Dungey with the time, just flicks it off to his right. It is caught. Extra yardage for Ishmael after the catch and inside the 40.
Boy, good running by Ishmael. I thought Dungey got the ball out late. He clapping for the ball. Give me the ball. Really a nice run after catch by Ishmael to get what he got on the play. Dungey a little late getting the ball out there. Not heard from Ishmael much here in the 2nd half.
His 8th catch of the game for Steve Ishmael. We heard from him in the 2nd quarter. He had a 34-yard TD reception off the arm of Eric Dungey. Throwing again. Completing it again. First down yardage, Steve Ishmael, 7 yards.
Yeah, working that short side of the field, you got Phillips and Ishmael on the same side of the ball now, working that short side. With their 2 featured guys on the same side of the field, and really all Florida State's doing is zoning it off. They're not doing anything special to try to take either one of them away. Now we get Phillips moves across the formation, and Ishmael slides in the slot.
107 yards receiving for Steve Ishmael. On first down, Dungey felt that pressure, tried to flip it forward, incomplete at 29. Dante Strickland tried to reach that football. Dungey slow to get up.
Yeah, he's slow to get up every time now. He's dragging that right leg, getting a defender falling at right leg as he tries to flip it out, and he's feeling it. You can see he's feeling it. I think he's more upset that he didn't complete that little flip out there than he is about his knee hurting. Such a competitor.
18 of 33 through the air, 217 yards, couple of TDs, and one pick from Dungey.
Right, got single coverage right there.
Looks right, back left. Oh, nearly intercepted by Derwin James. Would have been his second of the game.
Tried to it was a screen to the inside. You had Phillips, number 3, is going to come inside. You see the 2 linemen release out in front. And Dungey overthrows the ball here. He overthrows Phillips, and Derwin James almost comes up with his second interception in the game.
Looked like Phillips wasn't even looking at Dungey, Dave.
Well, he's trying to come underneath. He's expecting the ball down, the ball lower. The ball was thrown over the top.
8 of 21 on third down, but this is 3rd and 10 for Dungey. Surveys the landscape, lets it fly to 25. It's caught Ishmael. He breaks away inside the 20 for an Orange first down.
Yeah, poor tackling by Florida State. This is just a stop route. Excellent throw and catch, but did not tackle very well, did Florida State there.
13 yards on the previous play. Strickland now knifing his way inside the 15.
A really quick snap there. Excellent job by Florida State to rush to the line, get something positive on first down. Remember, DJ talked about this is a series you're looking for points. Obviously, you'd like to have 7 here. But you must have points here, down 10.
0 for 1 in the red zone today for the Orange. That near the 10-yard line. Strickland.
Yeah, bad decision by Strickland not to get out of bounds right there. There's nothing else he could get on the play. He gets tackled inbounds, and so that's going to bleed some more clock off for Syracuse.
McFadden made the tackle on Strickland. They got 3 in that previous play.
Yeah, 3-yard gain. He needed to get out of bounds there, Tom. Going to lose about 25 seconds on that play.
3rd and 3 for Dungey. He's got all day back there. Needs to step up. Cannot run for it. Trying to close on him. Dungey turns the corner. He goes down the sideline. Dungey stays in bounds at the 7. 1st and goal, Syracuse.
Wow, this guy dragging a foot and a knee here. Just a 3-man pass rush, so a ton of time. Then a late rusher starts to shoot at Dungey, flushes him out of the pocket, and then how about the speed to outrun Murray to the sideline, and then get up, Thomas to the sideline, and get up the field for the first down.
Staying in bounds on that far sideline. He shovels that one out to Moneal. He crashes down to the 3-yard line. Moneal got 4.
Well, this is an area where Syracuse has struggled in the red zone to try to punch it in when they've gotten down here tight. This has not been their area. Just 41% of the time, 47% of the time getting it in. Dungey.
He will just stroll in. Touchdown Orange, and it's that easy.
Bootleg play for Dungey. Boy, you gotta give that kid a ton of credit. How he's fought through a knee he'll probably have packed in ice when he heads back to Syracuse tonight on the plane. Little play fake right there, bootleg in, untouched, and Syracuse with an extra point within 3.
What a drive by the Orange. 14 plays and 75 yards for Syracuse. Dungey with his 20th career rushing TD, a Syracuse record for quarterbacks.
Well, Syracuse with all their timeouts now, Tom, I think will kick the ball deep here. Because remember, well, you know, I take that back. When you look at it now, it's a 3-point game. You can give yourself a 2-way go here. If you onside kick, you get the ball obviously right away. A field goal is not really going to hurt you because you still can drive down and win the game with a touchdown. So there could be an onside kick here, and Florida State is going to have to defend against that. But conventional wisdom says you kick it deep, you hold them on 3rd down, or hold them on 3 downs, use your timeouts, and get the ball back.
Grossman, onside kick. Looked like Derwin James went up to get it on the good hands team.
Yeah, and I like the call because it gives you two chances. Okay, you onside kick. If you get it, beautiful. If you don't, you're still going to be in the same situation you would have been if you kicked it deep. Now you've got to get a stop on 3 downs with the 3 timeouts. But Derwin James, that's why he's in that position. Derwin James, that ball's going to jump high. You want your best player somewhere in the area where you can get the recovery. That's why Derwin James is sitting in that spot. Now, pretty clear cut here. Now, Florida State will try to run the football. They've got to secure the ball, and Syracuse trying to get a stop in 10 yards, before 10 yards, and use their timeouts.
Space for Blackman into Syracuse territory and out of bounds.
Yeah, you'd like to have seen him slide if you're Jimbo Fisher right there. So you actually provide Syracuse another timeout. But a nice play on first down. He gets 7 or 8 yards on first down.
Officially 8 yards on the carry, Dave. So again, the Orange using their first timeout to stop the clock once the ball was spotted.
And interestingly enough, he's not in the game here, Tom. Got Pierre in the game to carry the ball.
Rasul close to the first down.
Sorry,
right
Rasul.
near it.
Yeah, Rasul in the game. I'm surprised Akers not in. Now here he comes. He checks in now.
Rasul might have gotten the job done. Very close to a first down.
Now, if you got a quarterback that's a big, strong guy like this kid is, I would lean forward with a quarterback right here to get the first down. It is third down, but the thing that blows up this play and blows up your opportunity for Florida State to win the game is if you take a negative play. I would tend to lean the quarterback forward for the first down here.
Just 1 of 12 on third down in the game for Florida State.
The clock running now, so good job by James Black from the youngster. He's going to milk the clock.
Play clock down to 3.
Dropped the snap.
For exchange.
He fumbled the snap, Tom, and I think Syracuse may have came up with a ball. They did.
Recovered by Syracuse.
He fumbled the snap.
They were amazing turn of events.
And I think they were going to run quarterback sneak. Give Syracuse credit. They stemmed down defensively.
Dave, that was Paris Bennett who came in and just forcefully took it away from Blackman. Take a look.
The key here is, does Blackman recover it with a knee on the ground, though, Tom? It looks like to me Blackman's knee's on the ground when he picks the ball up.
That's what Gary Patterson is saying, that the quarterback was down. Dave circled that left knee when he picked up the football.
Okay, key here now, Eberle left the field. It's fourth down. He's the center. Okay, center exchange. Now, does Florida State, now they're taking some snaps along the sideline with another center.
Logan Tyler's in to punt with 1:32 to go.
I think this is the right play by Jimbo. I think a nice job of bleeding the clock as much as he could down to a minute and a half left. Need a good execution by your punt unit here to try to pin Syracuse.
8th time that Tyler has punted. Riley watches it bounce at the 11, takes a Syracuse roll, and finally stopped near the 18. It's a 27-yard punt. Dungey back on the field for the Orange.
All right, Shock, you got 2 timeouts left. You know the clock's going to stop with first down. So because the time's where it's at, got to have an idea that you'd like to push the ball, but you don't want to put it in harm's way because you're looking for a field goal here.
Yeah, Arch, I think the biggest thing to happen right now, you have to get going. This first play has to be big for you. You got to get a completion. You got to stay in positive yardage. Do not have a negative yardage play on this first play to get your drive going.
Dungey escapes. Dungey past the 30. Made a cut at the 35 and got to the 38. Eric Dungey
Tom, it's man coverage, so as soon as Dungey breaks the pocket, there's nobody there for him. Excellent job and recognition by Eric Dungey.
20 yards on the rush by Dungey. Back to work, right side, caught. 45-yard line, Irvin Phillips, another grab for 5 yards.
And a quick timeout by Dino Babers. He was right in the ear of the official as soon as Phillips caught the football.
11 catches for Irvin Phillips. As Dave mentioned, we did the game at NC State when Syracuse traveled to Raleigh, and Phillips came up with 17 receptions to set an ACC record.
Now, this is man coverage down the field. Dungey recognizes that. If he breaks contain, he's got room to run, and it's a big run for Dungey. This was something that Charles Kelly was worried about. If we play man, which we want to do against this receiver corps, we're going to be vulnerable to the quarterback run.
118 yards rushing for Dungey. That's a career high. Choosing to throw in this instance. Dungey swallowed up and dropped. Just too much time.
And a timeout by Dino Babers. Cannot take a sack there. That's a bad play by Dungey. He's got to throw the ball away. Spying Dungey on the play was Derwin James.
Loss of 10.
Here's Derwin James right here in the middle. He's shadowing the quarterback. Here comes the pressure. Dungey got to throw that away, but had he tried to break contain.
No timeouts for the Orange.
Here's Derwin James right
27-24.
here.
Dungey at midfield to Ishmael. How did he get away? He was well covered by Taylor. They got tangled up. First down, Syracuse, 15 yards.
Yeah, it's just a spot throw. All Ishmael does is release up to the sticks and just outfights Taylor for the ball.
11 catches for Steve Ishmael. None bigger than that one.
Got to get it out.
Dungey got rid of it this time.
I know Dungey's trying to buy time, but really at this point in the game, he's got to have a pretty good idea where he wants to throw the ball, Tom, or throw it away, because all you're doing, if you're trying to buy time, is you're eating clock, especially if you're staying in the pocket.
Trailing 27-24. Syracuse has not won a game in this series since 1966, when the teams first met in Central New York at Archibald Stadium.
And at one point down 14-0 and down 21-7 in this game at one point. They've been able to fight back.
Florida State has led the whole way. Dungey inside the 35 and complete. Irvin Phillips.
And the clock stopped now. If you're Dungey, you kill the clock right here. You clock it.
16 yards on that pass play. You said, Dave, they've got to get to the 35. They're at the 34. Dungey with a player around his ankles, and he got rid of it. Kando was pressuring Dungey.
Yeah, the freshman had gotten in around his legs here. He gets singled up on the back, Strickland, and Strickland does the shoe duster block.
It's an awkward fall by Dungey, too.
He had a defender laying on the back of his legs. He just did a nice job. Now, what you're obviously trying to make this an easier opportunity from a kick standpoint, but if you complete the ball inbounds, there's a chance you won't get another snap if you're short of the first down line.
No timeouts, 16 seconds to go. Dungey lets it fly near the boundary and caught.
Boy, how good a throw was that?
Ishmael on the grab at 9 yards, out of bounds.
Not going to get better coverage than what Taylor has here. He's right in the hip pocket of Ishmael, but the ball is right on the money to Ishmael. Little toe tap and step out of bounds.
11 seconds to go, no timeouts, 3rd and 1.
Remember, you complete the ball for a first down, you'll be able to kill the clock. Cannot take a sack. Cannot take a sack.
Gets away, gets rid of it, deflected away and incomplete. 6 seconds on the clock. It's 4th down. Here comes Cole Murphy. 1 for 2 today. The miss from 48 after it was deflected. The make from 42 yards away in the 3rd quarter. This to tie the game. 6 seconds to go. Cole Murphy, the senior. from 43 yards away. It's no good. The clock runs out and Florida State has won it 27-24. "43 yards away for Cole Murphy. Florida State wins it in thrilling fashion, 27-24 for their third win of the season, and Syracuse denied its first road victory of the year. Now 0-4 and 0-3 in conference away from Syracuse, New York. Just that close for Cole Murphy. What an incredible finish. The reaction from Coach Babers. And in the end, it's Florida State. Led the whole way, and they get the win. What a performance by Eric Dungey. Cam Akers, the running back for FSU, with a huge day.